second interview of the Illinois 15th Congressional District candidates. And today we've got Jennifer Todd. Jennifer, it's so nice to talk to you. Welcome to Sunshine Strategies Radio.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, Jennifer, you're gonna have to remind me. Are you here in Decatur in Macon County?
No, I'm down in Edwardsville.
So I grew up in the Metro East area. My mom still works for BJC Healthcare down there. So awesome.
Yeah, I've been in Edwardsville since, oh my goodness, 2016, 2017.
Awesome.
I moved back up here from I lived originally was down in Florida, and I brought my daughter up here because she's on the autism spectrum, and that she needed a smaller school, and so we moved back to my hometown to Centralia. And then yes, and actually, I lived in Womack, and
Someone that came from a town of 550. I feel you.
well, we had about 1,200 in Womack.
You're high rolling there. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And she actually went to my elementary school that I went to, and it's North Womack, and the K through 8, and she started there in 3rd grade, and by the time she hit 5th grade, she kinda outgrew the school.
yeah.
And I knew Edwardsville had a great school system and so forth, so we moved over here.
Yep. And that's one of the things that, we always go back and forth when we talk school districts here locally, but those bigger districts, sometimes they have supports that your smaller districts just don't have the ability to house those. So that is a win for a bigger district. So
Yeah. And, that the school districts and so forth, that's one of my things that I'm really going to be fighting for is because, they're wanting to do away with the Department of Education. And, right now I'm a nurse. Not considered a professional anymore.
that has really bothered me a lot as someone that, I've worked in education and around education most of my career. And, one of the things that we really harped on 10, 15 years ago was you don't need a 4-year degree. You can just go get a certificate. Well, now it feels like they're not taking those certificates seriously. And it just makes me
No,
really upset with all
no.
of those professionals that, they do a good job. They are professionals. They should be treated as such.
I worked hard for my degree. I worked hard for it. And same thing with education and with nursing. If you want to advance your career, you have to have the education. And now they're wanting to take away all that
Yep. So,
to be able to become a nurse practitioner. And you're not going to be able to because you're not going to be able to afford it.
yeah, as someone who just spent a few hours arguing with the Department of Education myself, I appreciate you fighting on our behalf. It is real terrible what we have to go through in American education systems anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about the campaign trail. How did you first jump into this race, and what's your experience been like so far?
Well, when I found out that Mary Miller ran unopposed in 24,
Yes.
that's when I started working on this. So I'm now officially in my 13th month of this campaign.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's been a long road.
It has.
But it's been very rewarding meeting everyone. And it's just everyone has kind of the same complaints and same issues, and that it's kind of universal in the 15th, as in we need infrastructure. Excuse me. We need infrastructure, and we need somebody that actually will listen and call back and talk to the people.
Yes. I am, I like to think of myself as a nice person. I try to keep my mean thoughts to myself. That's just how I was raised. But when I call Mary Miller's office, even in this tone, the response I get when they answer the phone is rude.
Mhm.
And then I politely tell them what I want. I don't yell, but I
Mhm.
explain what I want and why, and they're still rude to me.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable to me, let
No.
alone everything that I hear from Mary Miller is what she wants me to hear. She never listens to us. So I am very glad that We've got some great candidates that
And
are listening.
yeah, I actually have a plan for that because the district is so large, 35 counties,
It is.
that I wanna break it up into zones where we have between 5 and 7 counties per zone, and then there's one email address for that zone, and that's where and it goes to one person, and then that way there's one person dealing with it, then they'll bring it to me. You're gonna get acknowledged faster. People just wanna be acknowledged that, "Hey, we got your email."
And, I think that, not to get into the red and the blue of political parties, but I think that when it really boils down to it, people don't want distant government. Your big government, small government. They don't want it to be far away. And that's how I feel that our current congresswoman in the 15th district, she is very distant.
Yes.
So, knowing that you've got a plan to really get down at the county level makes me feel good.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's where everything is. You have to be able to get down to the county level. You have to be able to show up and not come in only for a fundraiser.
Yeah. Know the issues maybe of what's
Yeah.
happening in where's she gonna be next week?
Arthur.
In Arthur. Oh yes. So I bet you that she can't tell them anything about their chamber or their housing needs or anything that's happening in Arthur, Illinois. Yeah, I bet you anything. Mary Miller doesn't know what's happening in Douglas County, but she knows how many people donated to her in Douglas.
Mhm. Yeah. And my campaign is strictly grassroots. Everything we've done is from, everyday people, 5, $10, $25, and it's been rough at times because they don't have the money.
No.
Not with the affordability being so bad right now that no one has that extra money, and I completely, completely understand that. And, sometimes it makes me upset that I have to, not really beg for money, but,
Fundraising is real hard.
fundraising is hard.
It is
It
harsh on
is
your
very hard.
ego too. It is hard to hear no a lot.
Yes.
So, coming from both regular fundraising for and philanthropy and political fundraising, it is rough.
Mhm.
So, shout out to our candidates. And if any of our candidates in our series strike your fancy, please donate to them. So, every dollar will be well utilized, I can assure you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually, I knit and I crochet, and
Fun,
so
me too. I don't knit very well. I try to stick to crochet.
and, well, I have a circular knitting machine,
Fun.
but I also hand knit. So and I had a bunch of hats and scarves and stuff that I've made up in the past and so forth, so I started to take into the events with me, and I've been selling them to be able to buy yard signs,
Awesome.
so, you know, it has helped. I was able to get my first batch of yard signs because of it.
And the person that gets that hat has a story. And it has moved
Right.
them a little closer to the American democratic process. So I think that's
Mhm.
a win and another win.
Yeah, it is. I actually need to go to the storage unit to pick up more scarves, so
Good reminder.
because they come in handy because it's been cold outside.
Yes. It has gotten a little warmer today, but man, it has been bitterly cold here.
Yeah, it's been down here too.
Well, Jennifer, I know that you are very busy. And like we were saying before we jumped on, you're traveling here and everywhere until the primary day. Do
Mhm.
you have any events coming up in the next week or so that we could send people out to visit you?
Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Monday the 9th, I'm gonna be in Springfield
Fun.
for the Greater Springfield Democrats group. I'm gonna be visiting with them, and then on Tuesday, I'm gonna be in Morgan County, which is in Jacksonville, for their forum. So they're gonna have all 4 of us there. They're having a forum there at Illinois College. So we're all gonna be there, and then I may be going up to Douglas County on Wednesday and seeing them. I haven't s when you started a year ago, you get to see people and sometimes you don't, and it's kind of the time to turn things around and start going back to places that you've been before, and it's just back there. And then as of right now, then I have something, on Valentine's Day, Warden, Illinois is, Wardy Gar Wardy Gar Gras. is a thing of
Sounds
it's
exciting.
it's a play off of Mardi Gras. So and so I'm gonna be doing there, going to seeing people, like, sometimes between 3 and 4,000 people show up for that.
The more
So,
the merrier. So,
yep, that's
well,
right.
awesome.
And then we're gonna actually have another forum on the 17th. It's gonna be up in Quincy.
Good. Yeah, I always forget how far the 15th district goes. I'm really on the eastern edge over here in Macon. So
Mhm.
it
Yeah,
makes for a long drive some days, I'm sure.
it does, it does. Well, especially when the furthest point is Mercer County, which is just south of the Quad Cities.
Yeah, I was gonna Mercer?
Mhm.
We need some redistricting, I think. But that's an argument for a different day. That is really far away.
Yeah, so it goes all the way from Mercer in the north, all the way down to Madison County along the Mississippi River, then all the way across over to Edgar County and Christian County and anything and everything in between.
Well, I was talking earlier, the people on the 15th, no matter where you go in that region, we're all very similar people.
Mhm.
Maybe we just should not have to drive so far to meet with our representatives. So, yeah, maybe just give more of us, give us more representatives. So,
Right. Right. And it's just being out there for everyone. And that's my big thing. That's where my nursing comes into effect. Is that, I take care of people. And then of course I forget to take care of myself sometimes because I'm taking care of other people.
you know, uh,
But that's a
I
typical
have
nurse and
a
mom
brother
thing.
and a mom
Yeah.
that are nurses. That is a very true statement. So, well, I do hope that you take care of yourself. And I'm excited for people to get out and do some early voting. Voting started today, right?
Today, today I was the first one to vote in Madison County today.
Yay, congratulations.
Oh,
Did you get your little sticker? That's the
I
important part.
I did. I had my little sticker.
Good. And we want to encourage anyone that is eligible to vote to get out and either vote early, get your ballot, or vote before March 17th. So,
Right. And if
Jennifer,
you're having
anything
if you
else that you'd like to share with our audience today?
yes, it's about voting. If you're doing a mail-in ballot, make sure you get it in 2 or 3 days before it's due because of the postal service is not necessarily stamping things the day that they are received.
That is a very good point. So, if you are doing a mail in ballot, as soon as you get it, return it and make
Yes.
your decisions, get it back as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, every vote counts.
It does. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer, and
Well, thank
best
you
of
so
luck.
much.
Awesome. Thanks. Have a great one.